Actually, let's see if I can, don't think that on this video I can take it away from my face, so you're stuck with my face in the foreground. But here's the great room. It's our main dining room. It's 1,500 square feet, and this is the main room where we set up your, if you're not doing your wedding inside, it's where we're setting up your dinner. It's where you have dance floor space, and it's kind of the main gathering space inside Homewood. The nice thing about Homewood is that you get the whole first floor, which outside of the great room is a circular floor plan. I'm probably making you dizzy at this point. I'm going to stop spinning. So outside of the great room is a great flow area for things like between ceremony and reception, and then after dinner when people are up and moving around the space, because it flows really nicely because it's a circle. So we have the bar and then the back foyer and the front foyer and the cake table area, and I'll walk through with you, but just so you know, this is kind of the main room, and then you have all that additional space for the in-between times, which works really nicely when you know, you're not in a big box, in a big ballroom all night, and people like to explore this cool old building, so they really utilize the whole space. So it's kind of nice to have things offered everywhere they are exploring. So as we walk through, I'll show you what gets set up where. What we generally do in the great room, let's see if it'll work if I turn it. I don't know if it'll work if I turn it that way. In the middle of the dance floor here, in the middle of the space here is where we set up your dance floor. And then we have music that sets up on the back end of the dance floor space. So you could have a band or a DJ set up there. And then in front of the fireplace is where we'll do this side of the space is where we'll do your guest seating. And then on the other side, the additional guest seating. So those are our round dinner tables. That's kind of a typical table for dinner seating. If you're planning to do dinner, you have options. Of course, you could do cocktail seating with an hors d'oeuvre reception, but if you do dinner seating, the rounds are great because they're comfortable. It's an 8-top seating, but they're comfortable between 7 and 9. So you have some flexibility once you get into doing your seating charts and that kind of thing. We also have square tables though, and the squares are nice because you can put those tables end to end and create like a long banquet style table, which is great for the wedding party seating. We often do that in front of the fireplace under the center chandelier. So you could have your long table seating in front of the fireplace and then round table seating on either side of you, which kind of, it's a nice way to sort of have the wedding party seating stand out and then be surrounded by your guests. So it's like it's a new way of doing the old-fashioned like one-sided head table. So that tends to work really nicely, and it looks really nice in this room as well. So that's great room. All the decorative things that you see throughout the space as far as accent decor on the windows and mantles and ledges, I'm kind of giving you a little glimpse of it. All that stuff is included in your pricing. We have a ton of pieces that we kind of use to fill the periphery of the space. I'm a little backlit with the sun glare here, but I want to give you a little bit of a sense of what we offer. That's all included in your pricing, and we fill it all with lit candles. So you're getting a couple hundred lit candles throughout the space, and we're kind of taking care of all of the fill throughout the space, so you're not having to worry about bringing in a bunch of decorations. Because the space is simple, classic, elegant, lots of wood, stonework, wrought iron chandeliers, alabaster sconces for lighting, it works well to just showcase it with candlelight because it just illuminates beautifully and everything kind of comes to life. So it's a nice way to keep your floral budget down too, because you don't need to decorate every square inch of the space. So we fill it all with candlelight and accent decor, and really people tend to focus on centerpieces for the table. So something for the center of your dinner tables, and then we provide all of your rental otherwise. So tables, chairs, china, silverware, glassware, buffet table, bar, 2-bar setups are included, cake table, DJ table, food buffets, all that rental is included in your pricing. We get it all set up, we manage it throughout the event, and we break it all down and clean it all up at the end of the event. The only rental item that is not included in your pricing is the linens. The linens we outsource, so your coordinator, and I'll talk about your coordinator in a moment, but she'll place your linen order for you, and you get to pick your color. It's a floor-length linen on every table, and and then she'll bill you for that directly as we get closer to the date. 3 required vendors at Homewood: caterer, coordinator, and bar services. The coordinator is a $1,200 day of package. She's giving you a lot more than the day of, though. You have unlimited access to your coordinator by email and phone from the time you book with Homewood. They're working with your vendors loosely to work out your timelines and your layouts. And then they're here with you during the entire duration of event day. You get 8 total hours of time at Homewood. They're here for 9 on event day, and they're also here the day prior for your wedding rehearsal, which is included with your Homewood package as well. And they'll run the rehearsal for you the day prior. So that's a $1,200 day of package. You'll book that directly with Carolina Love Events, our in-house coordinator. And then we have an approved caterers list. We have a house caterer and then 5 additional approved. The house caterer benefit is there's no commission paid when you contract with them. If you work with any of the 5 additional approved, it's a 10% food commission, which they'll pass through to you. They pay it to Homewood, pass it through to you. So there's a little bit of an incentive to work with the house caterer, but we want to make sure you have lots of options and you're getting what you're looking for as far as food and service and pricing and personalities and all that. So you get 6 caterers to choose from. People generally are spending between $30 and $50 a person on catering. It's definitely something that's variable based on the menu you select. They're all happy to customize a menu for you. And food is one of those things you can taste. So we recommend doing a tasting or many tastings with those caterers once you've booked with Homewood. So you can dial in the menu and get to taste their offerings. That's coordinating and catering. And the 3rd required vendor is the bar. We have a sister company, Asheville Beverage, that does all of your bar packages. There are lots of options for the bar packages. Most people, and if you feel like you've got mostly drinkers, we recommend doing the unlimited package, $22 a person, 2 bar setups, 4-hour bar, beer, wine, sparkling, soft drinks, unlimited. So, you can do consumption billing, but it puts you at a little bit more risk if people are drinking heavily, then you get billed for per drink after the event. So if you feel like you've got mostly drinkers, we recommend doing the unlimited package. And the nice thing about the unlimited package also is that you can add liquor to that package by getting the 1-day permit from the ABC board, which is the liquor licensing board in North Carolina. We'll give you the application for that. It's a $50 permit fee. And once you have that permit, you can purchase your own liquor bottles, bring them into Homewood. We'll add it to the bar. The bartenders will serve the liquor along with everything else that's served there. So it's a nice way to do an upgrade to a full bar, and you're still just paying the $22 a person, but now you have all the liquor offerings that you'd like to provide as well. And the basic mixers are already included with that unlimited package, so it's a kind of an easy jump up to a wider offering. So those are the 3 required vendors. Those are kind of the critical elements of the event. So those are the only ones that we mandate. You can use whoever you'd like outside of those 3 required vendors. We have lots of recommendations if you need them. We work with these vendors all the time, so we have our favorites. And there's some benefit to working with folks who have worked here before and know the space and know how things flow here. So, it's not a terrible idea to utilize folks who know Homewood. But it's also a good time for you if you have friends that are photographers or florists or cake bakers and they want to offer their services to you. Absolutely, you're welcome to take advantage of those resources. If there's a day in your life where you hire everything out, it's not a bad idea to do it on your wedding day too. But we'll guide you through this process. We'll be in communication with you once you book, and we'll help kind of manage all that stuff as you're making these decisions and piecing it all together. Okay, so that's my required vendors information. Here's one last look at the great room before we move on. I'm going to take you now. Here's just outside the great room is the cake table area. So this is where we display your wedding cake. This table is on wheels, so it works really nicely when dinner has concluded for us to roll that table into the middle of the great room so that you can cut your cake in front of your guests while they're still seated. The caterers can then roll the cake table back away, and you've got a nice controlled way of of doing your cake service. And then all your business is taken care of and you can enjoy your party and you don't have any more tasks to do. But that's the cake table, and you've got a nice mantle and fireplace behind it there as well. And again, you know, we're providing all of that accent decor, so you're getting the benefit of not having to decorate every little nook and cranny of the space. There's a coat closet here, which is filled with chairs right now, but just to kind of give you a little peek, you got a nice big space in there for coats. And then we're gonna go to the front entrance here. So here's the front door. This is where the majority of your guests will enter the space. Make sure you can see the door. There it is. So this foyer area is a great kind of reception area. You've got the window ledge there where you can display maybe guest favors. We've got this old piano, which we use as your gift table. Trying to make sure you're getting the best visual here. So you can display a seating chart if you have favors for your guests, if you have departure items, gifts, guest book, card box, whatever you want people to see when they're first entering the space or before they're leaving. This is a good place to display all that kind of stuff. You have another little piece there where you could do perhaps departure items also. So that's the foyer area. And now we're gonna walk down the hallway. I'm doing a little spin. Again, really trying to make you dizzy here. As we walk down towards the bar, you'll see there's restrooms here, men's and women's restrooms, each have 2 stalls. And then we're heading over to the bar, which is right down the hall here. So this is the bar area. I'm gonna give you a wide span view of this room. This is everyone's favorite room, not just because it's the bar, but because it's just a sweet little space, floor to ceiling, cherry wood. We do a little bit of hors d'oeuvre display space there. And you've got another fireplace and mantle in here. Do a little cocktail seating. The first use of this space is where the groom and groomsmen can hang out before the wedding. I don't have the fireplace lit, sorry. So they'll use this space to kind of gather while you're over in the bridal suite next door. So they can kind of gather in here. They can keep it private and close the doors if they want, or they can keep it open and be accessible to guests as they're arriving. Trying to give you a full span view of the space. And the next use of this space is where the main bar is set up throughout the event. So that's where the bar is kind of stationed. And then we have a patio outside where we'll set up your second bar. And it's nice to use that patio because when people are released from the ceremony and make their way towards the house, they'll walk right by the patio. So it's nice to kind of capture some of your guests' drink needs right as the wedding releases. Some will come right inside and utilize this bar. So it's really nice to have 2 bars during that time when everyone needs a drink at the same time. Okay, so that's bar area. I'm gonna walk you, remember it's a full circle. As we walk through the floor plan, you'll see how the circle kind of completes itself. So we're leaving the bar area and we're gonna head to the back foyer. But first I'm gonna pop in the handicap restroom with you real quick, just because I want you to see where the guys can get ready. It's right next door to the bar where they're hanging out, so they can use this space for dressing. It's a nice big open space, functional, and there's a full-length mirror behind the door as well. So, and that's me, hi. It's also a good bathroom for you during the reception. It's a nice big space to pop into to freshen up, because you'll have your dress and your team of people that's always around you, so it's nice to have a big bathroom area to utilize. This is the back foyer, so we're now, that connects down the hallway from the bar area. It's your bonus space, so you can use it for a quiet sitting area like it's set up right now. Sometimes people will do if you're doing a photo booth, that's a good place to set it up because it's kind of out of the way, doesn't interrupt your event flow, but it pulls people to the back of the house. But you could also do another food or beverage station back here, or a little lounge furniture seating, or the coordinator has some inventory of vintage furniture, which is kind of cool to set up for like a little lounge station back here if that's something you like. And then the kitchen's back here. This is where the caterers work from. Be a little preview of the space back here. And then all of our rental and inventory is kept there. That's, again, we're providing all of your tables, chairs, china, silverware, glassware, so that's where we stage all that stuff. Okay, now we're heading down the hallway. That's the elevator entrance, so that's where all your vendors will load in. They love us for our elevator. It's also, it opens up to the back parking deck, and there's handicap parking at the elevator entrance. So anybody with handicap needs is fully accommodated at Homewood, and there's parking right at the elevator entrance. And then we set up a coffee station back here at the elevator foyer, so the coffee is included in your pricing. We do a really nice setup for you back here with candlelight, and we include the accoutrements, and we keep the coffee replenished all evening. So you get another draw to the back of the house, again, just trying to distribute the flow of your guests evenly. You got a little bit of bench seating back here, and then we're making our way back around to the front where the circle completes itself. So back to the cake table. So we just walked in a big circle. I hope that portrayed itself accordingly with this video. It might be a little awkward, but I'm going to actually stop the video now before I go outside and take you over to the bridal suite and the ceremony site, just because I don't want this file to be so big. So I'm going to stop it, and I'll try to send it to you, and then I'll walk outside and do part 2. Okay.